Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today is Tuesday, which means I'm doing art around the world, and it is the month of November, which means I am doing Indigenous cultures from different countries. Now, today I wanted to do Native American tribes of the United States, but I kind of wanted to do this differently. So, in the United States, according to Google, there are 574 federally recognized Native American tribes. I will link a list if you are curious and want to research some of them. I will also link a site that shows you, if you live in the United States, what tribal land or territory you are located in, if you are curious about that too. So it would be really hard for me to pick one tribe based on this, and I don't want to. So I'm going to kind of talk about an item that unites the tribes instead. And I kind of want to talk about this item because obviously you can see from what I have looked up, it is dream catchers. Dream catchers aren't art, okay? So we're going to be talking about something that isn't art that unites a culture, because I think it is very important to sort of recognize when things have been attributed incorrectly, appropriated incorrectly, and generally sort of been mass marketed without attaching the meaning and the information behind it. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at places that sell dream catchers. And I'm going to talk about the history of them, where they originated, and what their meanings are. But so know when you search things that there is an algorithm behind your searching. So when I search something, it's going to be very different from my neighbor searching something, from someone in the same state as me and someone in the same country as me versus someone in a different country. Your search results are going to be vastly different based on the types of things you look up, what you're interested in. The algorithm sort of curates to that. So know that what I pull up is not going to look like what you pull up. So let's go to, along the top, you can see all the different things. We're going to go to shopping. We are not going to be buying one. We are going to look at places that sell these. And I'm going to move this over for better viewership. So the origin of the dream catcher was recorded by an ethnographer named Francis Desmore in 1929. And it's of Ojibwe origin, which is sort of, I will link some videos about this culture, and the language is absolutely fascinating from that standpoint of folks of the tribe trying to save and bring back this language. It is very beautiful to listen to. But the legend from the Ojibwe tribe is that these are spider webs, and they're a protective charm. And the origin is from a spider woman who takes care of children and the people of the land. So according to this, in North America, it became very difficult for her to reach all the children. There were just way too many. So mothers and grandmothers would weave these webs for their children, and then they would put this sort of charm over their cradle. Now, these hoops are typically made of willow or sinew, and then there's some sort of cordage that is made from plants. So these were gifted to infants. Now, and sometimes they were made of nettle fiber, and two sort of spider webs hung in the hoop, and so it sort of catches any harm that might be in the air. So this is sort of the first recorded information about it, was 1929. Now, they can be used to sort of, in a traditional manner, to communicate in their communities of culture and origin. So their derivative forms of dream catchers were adopted by the Pan-Indian movement in the 1960s and 1970s. And they have become a symbol of various Native American cultures. So it has spread out through Native American and First Nation cultures, through trade and travel and all these different things. The name Dreamcatcher itself was published in a mainstream non-native media in the 1970s. So that's sort of where it got its name. It wasn't even a name that the natives got, or the indigenous folks got to claim. It was something that somebody else came up with. And it is a craft. It became widely known as a native craft in the 1980s. And by the 1990s, it was one of the most popular and marketable ones. So it became popular outside the Ojibwe Nation. There are many different types of dream catchers. Some have little resemblance to the traditional styles, and some incorporate materials that would not be traditionally used. And some are sold by new age groups and individuals. I think this is a misuse of something that is very, it's very root in origin, is for the indigenous, the Native Americans, the First Nation peoples. Like, this is something that has just sort of blown up and been exploited. This one's from Walmart. I'm going to call out specific stores in case you're super curious. This is from Hobby Lobby. You can look up Hobby Lobby and art antiquities and see their history with art. This is from Amazon. This is a company called Make It Real. They sell boxed craft sets, so anyone can make their own. Here's another one. This is Joanne. Joann's is, if you're not from the US, it is a fabric store that also sells crafts. I have seen some sold in, I think we passed one that was Spirit Halloween. If you're not familiar with what Spirit Halloween is, it is a pop-up shop that fills empty spaces within malls and areas, and it sells costumes. It's Halloween costumes. So when folks say our culture is not a costume, but Spirit Halloween sells dream catchers, you can see how this can become very problematic very quickly. This is not an art piece. This is not like a boho, bohemian interior design motif sort of decoration. That's not what this is. And it being labeled kind of as such and widely popular in stores. If you're not familiar with Claire's, Claire's is a kids jewelry shop in every mall that pierces ears, and they sell Dreamcatcher earrings. So it's been very, very commercialized. It's commercialized to every generation. And that's just not what that's not what it's for. You know, so the meaning, you know, this is something that it's meant for catching bad spirits around children and protecting them of these tribes, of the folks that are Native American. And to see it sort of mass marketed, I mean, you can go to Amazon, and most countries have Amazon, I think, except for New Zealand. You don't have Amazon. And it's either Japan or South Korea doesn't have Amazon either. But you can look up Dreamcatcher on Amazon, and there are thousands and thousands of results. So what do we do? What do we say? I imagine that Native Americans and First Nation folks have been fighting the fight of trying to bring awareness to this, to let folks know. Here's Zales. Zales, I mean, this is diamond encrusted. Who is that for? It's a necklace. Here's a bracelet. It's very, very interesting to me how sort of bold these companies are in highlighting something that is of a very specific culture with a very specific meaning, and it unifies the tribes. This is what this symbol does. And it's just been sort of exploited. And the original one, I'll show the original sort of spider web in the default photo of the video, so you can see that. But it's very bizarre to me how commercial this has become. I know Urban Outfitters used to sell dream catchers. You can still go on used sites like Marikai and Poshmark and look up Urban Outfitter dream catchers. They no longer sell them. So I think they realized how culturally insensitive that was and pulled that. And I think that sets a good example. I think learning and understanding and listening to the conversations that people are having about what is and isn't art and what's from different cultures, and making sure not to exploit or appropriate that, is very, very important. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.